Ever caught yourself saying, "Oh, I don't do anything, I just stay home with the kids"? Or maybe you looked at another woman juggling it all and thought, "I could never do that, I'm just not that kind of a woman." We say these things lightly, almost automatically, but beneath that self depreciating humor and modesty, there's often something deeper at play. This quiet, inherited belief that taking up space as a woman, a mother, is somehow just too much. It's not that someone explicitly told us to downplay ourselves. It's that the world has been gently and sometimes not so gently nudging us in that direction since before we could ever name it. We were taught to be agreeable, humble, likable, not bossy, not proud, and not too full of ourselves. And so we learn to just shrink and shrink and shrink. Think about how we talk about ourselves at dinner parties or parent teacher meetings, even in our own heads at 2 a.m. for that matter. This is not about guilt, it's about awareness because once we name this pattern for what it is, the internalized, conditioned misogyny within women, we can begin to undo it. At least we can start talking about it to ourselves the way we talk to our friends, right? With credit, with kindness, and no apologies for being ourselves.
Hey mommies! We know you're tired and you're here for a reason.
We are two moms just looking to unwind after a long day. So come join our rants and let's make this journey a little less lonely, one episode at a time.
Welcome to our podcast, Mom vs. World. I have found myself stuck between respecting elders, following traditions, and wanting more fairness many times, not just for me, for my kids too. Like, there are certain silent rules that everybody has to follow, but those rules are very different for a man and a woman, don't you
Of
think?
course, yeah.
Just a small example is if there is any get together or an event from your husband's side, you would be expected to be there. Like, obviously, she will be there. It is like that,
Yeah.
right? If you don't, by any chance, you have some personal work or you just don't have the mood for it or you're exhausted, you're not well, you don't go, and everybody will be questioning, like, how come you didn't come? Like, why? You should have a strong reason to not go. But if it's the women's side event, if your husband doesn't come for it, everybody will be fine with it. They'll create their own explanations. Maybe he's too exhausted from work, or he works the whole week, so maybe he wanted to rest for the weekend, or maybe he just didn't feel like it. And that's okay. People accept it. That is a basic example for different rules for men and
Yeah.
women, right? And if you notice, women will be the ones who are questioning the other woman most of the time. It's not
That's
the
true.
men. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I feel like we have internalized misogyny so much that it is so deep rooted that we unknowingly adhere to it and also try to make sure other women also are doing the same unknowingly. I feel like conditioned women take a bigger part than misogynistic men in taking patriarchy forward. And this is very unfortunate, but that's a
True.
fact.
I mean, conditioned women are the one who are more vocal about it
Yeah.
because they are not really careful about this. Modern men today, at least, they know there is feminism, there is misogyny around, and we need to be careful. We need to be respectful of women's needs. So even regardless of what's in the back of their minds, they at least act respectfully, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, nowadays men are very careful about what they
Exactly.
talk and they don't want to offend women in any
Yeah,
ways.
they
Yeah.
can easily become the bad guy if you don't follow those things
Yeah.
right now. But I think women are exempt from those. It's like the job has fallen onto women to carry forward patriarchy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Recently, I was telling my husband something similar, okay, that I might be more sexist than he is, which sounds ridiculous, but I think that's true, right?
Now that I think of it, it's the same with me too.
He is very careful. He's very respectful of my choices, my hobbies, my everything. But then there is a lot of subtlety involved in it, which I myself take forward if he doesn't. I have that unconditional respect for my husband and all men in general, it's like how we have this unconditional love for our children.
Yeah. I think most of the time women defend or even glorify misogyny sometimes. They are the one who will
Yeah.
tell the next generations that we did this, so you are supposed to do this
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it's the case with our generation women, but at least our parents' generation women, they were like, this is how it is supposed to be.
Huh.
And you're
Yeah,
supposed
how
to
many
do
times
that.
have we heard our moms and grandmothers tell us directly,
Yeah.
men are more important,
Yeah,
right? In
yeah.
many situations.
Yeah, you cannot talk to your dad like that, but you can
Yeah.
talk to your mom in any
Yeah.
way.
I think even us right now, we are aware of all this because of the overload of information. But the way we are, right, not just the things we directly tell verbally to our children, shows how much unfair amount of respect we have for
Yeah,
ourselves. And
totally. Yeah. If we don't respect our own choices or our own time or our priorities, our kids will look at that every day, and
yeah.
eventually in their head it is like mom's priorities are not really important, or mom doesn't need her time or
Yeah.
space, and it will pass on to their wives too.
It's actually completely up to us to change so many generations worth of patriarchy, right? Because nobody else is going to do it. We
Yeah.
have to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
We have to bring up those difficult conversations. We have to put up those fights. We have to change ourselves to make sure we are not behaving like we used to.
Yeah, being a mom and doing the right thing, stopping patriarchy to pass on to the next generations is a really big task. I mean, we
Yeah.
already are drowning in so many responsibilities and so many tasks that now we should go a step ahead and start this conversation with our husbands and deal with the backlash or
Yeah.
negativity after that.
It's just too much.
It's too much, right? I mean, sometimes I have certain things to discuss with my husband, but I just keep postponing it, thinking that okay, why should I spoil this day? Why do I spoil this moment, right? But
Yeah.
in reality, there is no good day to bring up difficult conversations.
I know, right? Adult life is never monotonous, right? There's always something or the other thing going on in our life. There is some or the other issue when you have kids, especially as a mom.
Yeah.
It's never just a routine.
Especially for women like us who go deep into thinking about all this,
Yeah.
there are a lot of issues.
Like our minds, we have so much worry about the basic stuff
Yeah.
like their school, their food, their health, their mental well being, their feelings. All these things are already gigantic tasks in terms of mental load, at least. And imagine now we have to change the way our family views women. Now, when are we going to get time to think about that, plan that, strategize? Because it does take a lot of calculation, a lot of work to actually put that into action. It's not just some thought you have and like, okay, I'll behave this way and they'll learn.
Yeah.
It's not that simple.
And I think even if we start off with ourselves, my actions cannot take patriarchy forward. If you decide to act on that first, even that is very difficult. Like that takes a long time, you know. We have internalized misogyny so much that it's just there in our lives. It's everywhere. It keeps coming back like any other addiction, like alcohol or something. Misogyny is in our blood, in our veins, that it's so difficult to eradicate it even from our own lives. Forget about family.
Yeah, it's like a parasite that's living within us,
Yeah.
controlling us,
Exactly.
driving us, making us take certain decisions unknowingly. Because, you know, it's not just about simple things, everyday things. You take these long-term decisions also sometimes that completely are a bit misogynistic, and you wouldn't think about it that way at all. You wouldn't view that a decision can be misogynistic, right? A lot of times just think, you know, now that I'm a mom, whenever I get free time after my kid goes to school, I'll just probably fall back on some hobbies, make some little things here and there. I'm always planning around everything else. It's not that I need to do this and I need the support of my family. No, I would never expect that kind of support from my family.
Yeah.
I always feel like how else can I support my families?
Yeah, how else can we do better?
Yeah, and it's not just about that dire important things like job, school. No, even all the other little things that are entertainment, indulgence, we think about. No, I think my children and husband need to be entertained before I do something for myself.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
We only do
That's more
something for
important.
ourselves if we have any time or energy left
Huh.
for the day,
Yeah.
or we
Yeah.
won't.
And I feel like sometimes in a lot of families today in modern cities, in corporate environments, like husband and wife do work in these corporate environments, and I feel like technically there is no sexism involved. Because at least in my workplace, I see they take that very seriously. Okay, so they make sure they are educating people about this, even the very subtle ways that you can be misogynistic. They are constantly doing these workshops and everything to make sure that women are not undermined. But in spite of all that, I still feel like there is that undertone where that keeps happening anyway. Now imagine in our real lives, in our families, where we are not talking about it at all. Why would that go away at all?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And I think we don't do it that much like we discussed earlier because we don't want to raise that
Yeah,
unnecessary
yeah,
conflict.
yeah.
But I think there is another reason we don't do it that much, which is kind of selfish, but women who are a little bit misogynistic get ahead compared to women who stand back and fight
You're
for
right, yeah.
values
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all
True,
that, right?
true. She's a good woman.
Exactly. She is the smart one. She knows what needs to be done. She's taking the right decisions. That's what they would call her. And the system rewards these kind of women very directly, blatantly, who support that. And not just that they get reward and power and all that, but I think in a lot of cases in families in rural areas they get safety. They get to survive when they carry forward these values.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And that's the biggest part of that. They have to take that forward and they don't like it, but moms have to teach their kids, no, father first, no, brother first.
Yeah. Yeah,
Always.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we also have this desperate need to fit in everywhere, right? As women, we have that in us. Like we discussed in another episode, we are inherently people pleasers and we want everybody around us to be happy with us. So
Yeah.
we just fit in.
That term makes me so angry every time. I think we discussed it in a bunch of episodes, and every time it just
Yeah.
makes me feel the same way. I hate people pleasing so much, and it's so hard to control.
Yeah,
Like
it
we
is.
just-
It is
Yeah.
so strongly implanted in
So
our
strong,
lives
yeah.
that it's so difficult to not be a people pleaser.
When we were a bit younger, we thought we had so much control over ourselves and the way we are. But now I feel like it's so hard to just remove this trait. It's just almost impossible. We have to be likable. We have to be presentable. We have to be humble. We can never brag about our achievements. You know, we have to always say, no, it's okay. Like he helped me.
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm just a housewife or
Yeah,
just
but
this.
when you see when a guy is completely bragging about what he's done, achievement, everybody's cheering him up. Wow, how did you do that? Tell me more. What was his strategy? But we achieve a lot of things every day, but nobody is asking us, nobody's praising us.
And society has made it that way that they are not brag worthy or something.
Exactly. Yeah, that's well said. Nothing we do is brag worthy.
Even childbirth is not brag worthy sometimes. Many people react as if, every woman goes through this. So, what's a big deal?
That's a stupid logic.
From outside, maybe modern men are being good to us. Wow, you
Yeah.
went through all this. Yeah, that's a great thing. But
Yeah.
it somewhere inside, definitely everybody is okay. Every woman goes through this. So
You might get sympathy for all the stitches and the feeding all the time you lost sleep. But do you ever get to feel powerful? Like when men do something great and they feel powerful, do you ever feel powerful for childbirth
No way,
and raising a kid? No.
yeah.
We're supposed to, but we can never get ourselves to feel like, this is my domain and
Yeah, only I can do this.
it's more like we're always begging for that little bit of praise, appreciation, but it never, even if we do get that, we never go beyond that.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
would never feel like we led something that's really difficult and
Yeah,
we
even we
went
don't
through it.
treat ourselves very good. Even after childbirth, we are in that mode where we feel like we are failing at breastfeeding or something.
Yeah, these are so impossible that
Yeah.
it's impossible to do everything perfectly.
Yeah, the upcoming things where we were not really trained for, we are obviously new to it, and we are still learning. So
Yeah.
even before the pride of going through childbirth comes into our head, we are already failing at different things, and
Yeah, exactly.
we are already hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm not able to do this. I am.
And you can't speak out about that very easily. You can ask for help here and there, and you'll probably get help from
Yeah.
our husbands are good, they'll help us out and all. But then when you start speaking out,
Huh.
it feels like, okay, I'm doing everything, but then why are you
Complaining.
talking about feminism again?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Feminism has become an offense.
Most men just get offended, or they just shut themselves down when they listen
Yeah.
to anything close to feminism.
Yeah, it's become such a devil of an idea to many people that even women don't want to admit that they're feminists. They don't want to use that word anymore.
Yeah, either they want
right?
to use it too much, or they just don't want to use it.
Because you can see that happening. Like once you start speaking it out enough times, your life starts getting difficult.
Yeah, oh yeah. People will start looking at you in a different way.
Yeah, she's that kind of woman.
modern.
And your relationships will no longer be what it used to be.
Yeah.
You will be surprised how many friends are with you because you're taking forward this idea. Once you speak out, how many people are you going to lose?
Yeah, even your parents or your in-laws, they cannot really go very deep into such things. So they will only look at the outside part of you, and they will not be happy with that. No matter how much you try to
Yeah.
explain them.
Yeah.
I'm talking
They'll
about the
never
women,
approve of
like
it.
our mom or mother-in-law,
Yes.
will not really be happy because they'll.
Because again, they need to maintain their relationship with our in-laws, right? And again, our moms, grandmoms are people pleasers, and to maintain those relationships, they have to
Yeah.
stop us from opposing those ideas, and
Yeah.
that's how the cycle keeps going on.
Yeah, true.
I think it's big time we take this thing more seriously and more actively. We have to not just tell our kids that, but we have to be a model for our kids.
Yeah, last month, like I told you earlier, I had this event and I didn't go. That day, I was ashamed of myself, kind of. For the most part of the day, I was like, why was I like this? Because that's not generally me. My needs are always last. I would go and I would do the necessary things, and only if I have some free time, I would then go and meet my friend. But that day, I just decided somehow to just prioritize myself, and I did that. And nobody said anything out loud. Like I told you, our mom called me and said, "Why you were supposed to go?" And I told her I didn't feel like it. And nobody else told anything. Even my husband didn't tell me anything.
Right.
But I know everybody felt something, but nobody directly
Yeah, you
told.
can sense that.
Yeah. Then I realized if I keep doing such things,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I might become a bad bahu or a bad wife or something. But if I keep prioritizing myself once in a while, if I keep prioritizing my needs, I mean, if I treat myself as an equal to my husband, if I keep doing that over the years, I think even our parents and in-laws will kind of get accustomed to that personality of ours, right? Maybe eventually. So
Yeah.
years of maintaining that thing will kind of teach our kids also that mom is also a human. She has her priorities. She needs her time, or she
Yeah.
needs respect. She
Yes.
has opinions. She can talk
Yeah,
about
it should
those.
be very casual that, oh, my mom takes time to work out every
I
day.
think we should be okay with being perceived as a selfish person for a while and keep going with that for a few
Yeah.
years to make it normal, at
Yeah.
least in our family. Forget
Yeah.
about outside.
And what we should teach ourselves and other fellow mothers here in our audience is that yes, once you start doing these things again and again, you might lose people, because the idea of people pleasing is that people will love you only if you please them, if you're appealing to them. And if you keep going against it, you might lose some people, but you underestimate just how many people in your life will love you and respect you in spite of you taking care of yourself, prioritizing yourself. You will see it for yourself a few years later if you start doing this, that they will still love you. And in fact, they will respect you more than they did before after you start doing these things. I really hope we could resonate with you, because every feeling is valid in motherhood. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow us for more such content.